Okay, this is going to be the arrestafield bug report, I believe number 14. And this is, I think this is the critical one. All right, let me read something to you here. This one's about traffic tickets, okay? 19.2-82 of the Virginia Code. Procedure upon arrest without warrant. Part A. And that's the only part we need to read. A person arrested without a warrant shall be brought forthwith before a magistrate or other issuing authority. Period. Well, not period. Having jurisdiction, who shall proceed to examine the officer making the arrest under oath. Period. If the magistrate or other issuing authority having jurisdiction has lawful probable cause upon which to believe that a criminal offense has been committed, and that the person arrested has committed such offense, he shall issue either a warrant under the provisions of 19.2-72 or a summons under the provisions of 19.2-73. That's the 73 is the one about the Virginia uniform summons. And the disposition order that you find the uniform summons pasted onto, by the way, by the court. All right, the second paragraph. As used in this section, and listen up, this is the important part. The term brought before a magistrate or other issuing authority having jurisdiction, unquote, shall include a personal appearance before such authority or any two-way electronic video and audio communication meeting the requirements of 19.2-3.1. Okay, and that's basically about secure audio and video transmissions. All right, but still continuing. In order that the accused and the arresting officer may simultaneously see and speak to such magistrate or authority, period. Did you get that? It's telling you the purpose of the law. It says, in order that the accused and the arresting officer may simultaneously see and speak to such magistrate or authority, period. I think that's critical. All right. The last sentence here. If electronic means are used, any document filed may be transmitted in accordance with 19.2-3.1. Okay. So the law, think about this now. The law here explicitly states the purpose for this law, okay? Unfortunately, here it does not make any criminal, it does not give you any statements like shall be guilty of or something of a crime for violation of the section, all right? Not even Part B. But anyway, point is, well, let me check Part B. Is there anything about a violation, crime for violating? Oh, wait a minute. Where maybe this person, where the person has been arrested for. Well, anyway, that's the important part. Basically, the law is saying that a person, the accused, shall be given the opportunity to speak to a magistrate. All right, what's going on when you get a ticket? The officer collects all your personal information, goes back to his patrol vehicle. There, he gives certain information. Somehow, it gets to the court. I don't know if it's a clerk or a magistrate or what, but through the radio, he contacts or maybe through the dispatcher on the radio, he contacts the court. Sets up a hearing. Gets a court date. So he's definitely in contact with the court. Now, does he bring you back to his vehicle so that you can talk to the court simultaneously? So you can talk to the magistrate or whoever's there at the court simultaneously at the same time he is? No. He contacts the court, sets up, the court says, okay, we got jurisdiction, we got probable cause to believe that there's a crime. Go, and they tell him, basically, tell the officer, hey, fill out this summons and give it to him. All right. So basically, on this summons, in the ticket, it does say name, but if you look up the actual form, a DC 286, in the blank, in the box where it says defendant, that's what gets copied from that ticket, from the uniform summons. They cut and paste your name into that section that says defendant. So, but on your copy of the uniform summons, it just says last name, first name, and so forth. But it doesn't say defendant. So this is evidence. This is evidence that they've, started a case and assumed jurisdiction, because they've already, and then they go and actually put the case out on the web, and there they name you as defendant. So they've done everything that they do in an examining trial, except for one thing. Okay, you got all the elements. You got the officer present, you got the magistrate or the court, you got a case set up where you've been named as defendant. They have to have jurisdiction to do all that. Okay, and that's what it says in the law. It says, having jurisdiction who shall proceed to examine the officer making the arrest under oath. That's talking about, Randy, that's talking about your examining trial. All right? If the magistrate or other issuing authority having jurisdiction has lawful probable cause upon which to believe that a criminal offense has been committed and the person arrested has committed such offense, he shall issue either a warrant or summons. Okay, and they do that. All right, this is what they're doing. Except they're leaving out one part, and that's in this next section. Personal appearance before such authority or any. This shall, what mentions the term that they use in the previous paragraph here, brought before a magistrate or other issuing authority having jurisdiction, shall include a personal appearance before such authority or any two-way electronic video and audio communication meeting the requirements of 19.2, 3.1, in order that the accused and the arresting officer may simultaneously see and speak to such magistrate or authority. Speak, okay? So the law here is basically guaranteeing the accused the right to speak to the magistrate, and they just totally ignore this. They deprive you of the right. The law guarantees this right. They deprive you of it. It's pretty clear. So this is deprivation of rights under color of law, okay? The right to freedom of speech, which is guaranteed under the First Amendment of the Federal Constitution. And since this is deprivation of rights under color of law, of constitutional rights under color of law, it's a violation of Title 18, Section 242. The penalty for which can range from a fine all the way to the death penalty. So this is potentially very serious. So listen up, all you criminals in uniform. Okay? You put this law this particular law together with the First Amendment and Title 18, Section 242, and you got potentially a very serious crime. You know, all I have to do is declare my right to freedom of speech in a situation where the law guarantees that I have the right to speak to the magistrate at the same time that the officer is. And they deprive me of that right. It's pretty clear. This is very straightforward. And this is happening all the time. And it's because the people and the lawyers are such cowards. I'm sorry. You know, the lawyer's only interested in the money. Well, you know, we need to punish. These people are public servants. It's government of, and by, and for the people. That means the people rule over their public servants, okay? And your servants get out of line, you have to put them back in their place. I don't want to hear any excuses for their behavior. There is no excuse. All right? There's just no excuse for this. I know everybody's saying, oh, well, you know, whatever. I don't want to hear it. You know, this is not about me getting revenge. This is not about me getting upset about what was done to me. This is about me getting upset with my servants because they're doing stuff that I told them not to do. All right, this is my law. Okay, all right. Yeah, all you have to do is put these two laws together with the First Amendment, and you've got a crime, and it's very straightforward. They should know this. The lawyers should know this. I don't understand why they don't get it. It's about putting your public servants back in their place. They're out of control. You know, do you want, you know, these people roaming your streets every day, carrying weapons, and yet they got bad judgment? You know, they should know this stuff. All right, either they're ignoring it or they've never been taught it. But either way, it's definitely a crime, and I want to hold them to the rule of law. All right, and this is how we're going to clean up the whole country, as far as I'm concerned. You got to start with your public servants, because they're just out of control. Before you even worry about what your neighbor is doing, you need to worry about those cops who are trolling the streets every single day, looking for people to pounce on, because they're not executing law properly. So, yeah, 14 minutes. I got less than a minute, so I better wrap it up. But I think I got my point across this time. It's very clear. I also need to look up 19.2-3.1, but that's basically just talking about the requirements for the technology for the audio and video communication, so that's enough. This is arrestafield bug report. I think it's number 13. No, it's number 14, excuse me. That was number 14. Look for number 15 next. Thanks, bye.